since year 2000, he has been initiating disciples with the blessings of GBC and Srila Prabhupada's personal instructions. Recognizing the need of internet-based training course, in 2003 he started a course which is called Science of Self-Realization, which is free online course where you can go and ask certain questions about Krishna consciousness, about your daily practice, how we can implement this Krishna consciousness in our practical lives. You can join this course by logging into joincourse.com. The most wonderful, personally very heart-warming quality I find Guru Maharaj is the way he gives a detailed answer about your any query, and it's very easy to relate with him. For that purpose he travels whole world twice a year. Her Grace Vishnu Priya Mataji, she is also supporting this wonderful mission. She is being so humble. Other thing I can say is, please don't lose this wonderful opportunity. Personally, I started like this 2-3 years back when I attended Vasudev Prabhu's he organized Vyasa Puja at his place, and I attended that program. And then some devotees organized some other program. I attended his course, and then I started asking questions. I got all the answers. So please don't lose this wonderful opportunity. Even though it's very cold outside and your skin is feeling so cold, but with this wonderful association, your heart will become so much warm, and so much nectar will come. So thank you very much again, and with this introduction I pass my humble obeisances to Guru Maharaj, and let's hear from him. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
So tonight, you're reading from Bhagavad Gita. I keep being drawn like a magnet to Bhagavad Gita 8:15. Prabhupada's purport is so amazing. I just have to do it again. I do it every few days, it seems I'm doing this verse now. I just did it in Malaysia. I'm doing it again tonight because this purport is absolutely amazing. Very, very deep and very, very amazing purport. Bhagavad Gita 8:15. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo
Punarjanma
Mahuvesha Punarjanma
Kalayam Shashvatam
Dukalayam Shashvatam
Napnuvanti Mahatmana
Napnuvanti Mahatmana
Siddhim Paramam Gata.
Siddhim Paramam Gata.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. After attaining me, the great souls, who are yogis in devotion, never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. Since this temporary material world is full of the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease, naturally he who achieves the highest perfection and attains the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, does not wish to return. The supreme planet is described in Vedic literature as Avyakta and Akshara and Paramagati. In other words, that planet is beyond our material vision and it is inexplicable. But it is the highest goal, the destination for the Mahatmas, great souls. The Mahatmas receive transcendental messages from the realized devotees and thus gradually develop devotional service in Krishna consciousness and become so absorbed in transcendental service that they no longer desire elevation to any of the material planets, nor do they even want to be transferred to any spiritual planet. They only want Krishna and Krishna's association and nothing else. That is the highest perfection of life. This verse specifically mentions the personalist devotees of the Supreme Lord Krishna. These devotees in Krishna consciousness achieve the highest perfection of life. In other words, they are the Supreme Soul. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatha Padakam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sujivam Sadaitam Savadutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeshakarine. This purport is absolutely amazing. The most amazing thing of all is describing these Mahatmas who become so absorbed in transcendental service to the Lord, they're totally satisfied. They don't need anything except Krishna and Krishna's association. In other words, they don't need to go back to Godhead. They don't even care about going back to Godhead anymore because they're already with Krishna. Do you think Krishna is not in this material world? What does Lord Brahma say? He says, Ekopyasa Richavitam Jagananda Kotim Yat Shaktarasti Jagananda Chayagaranta Andantarasta Paramanuchayantarashtam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Jami. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. So Brahmaji has just said Krishna is present within every atom that is scattered throughout the universe. Now what is that? Aren't there many universes in the material world? So Krishna is only scattered through one of them? No. In this verse, universe refers to all the universes, the greater universe of all of the whole material universe. Of course, he's present in the spiritual world as well. So Krishna is already present. He's right here in suburban Melbourne. Krishna is here in this house. He's wherever you go, Krishna is present. It's just a matter of connecting with him. How can we understand this? How can we relate to him? Well, here's a good example. Radio waves. there are so many radio broadcasts in the ether in this room right now. There's the Goldie Oldies from the 60s, the Goldie Oldies from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. There's the classical music station, there's the country western station. I don't know what you have in Australia, but there's soul music, anyway. So many stations. And they're all in the ether in this room right here, but we can't hear them. But if you turn on the radio and you put the knob in the right place, you can hear it. So the news is being broadcast right now. Old Beatles songs are being broadcast. So many Michael Jackson hits are being, they're all here in the ether in the room right now. But we can't hear them because we don't have the radio turned on. If you turn on the radio, then you can tune into these different radio stations or TV broadcasts as well. So this is a very good example. That just as those radio broadcasts are present, but we can't perceive them because we don't have the instrument turned on to do so, Krishna is also present here. And if you have the instrument turned on, tuned into Krishna, you will experience Him right here, right now. You will see Krishna. You can even touch Krishna and feel Krishna. If you have the proper instrument turned on. So what is the instrument? Consciousness. The difficulty we have is turning it on. We already have the radio receiver called consciousness to tune into Krishna and be with Him and experience Him in every minute. But our consciousness is polluted by lust, by anger, by greed, by madness, by illusion, by envy, etc., etc., etc. So therefore we're not experiencing Krishna even though He's right here present with us at this very minute. So the process of bhakti yoga, is described in Bhagavad Gita, is the process of cleansing consciousness. The spiritual master is the consciousness repairman. So you go to the Vedic repair shop. The spiritual master is the consciousness repairman. You submit your consciousness to the spiritual master and you say, please help me to recover from this illusion of bodily consciousness, which is born of envy of the Lord. I want to have some independent existence, so I imagine that I'm this material body. But actually this material body has no independent existence. Even the material body does not exist independently. Although the scientists are trying to prove that it does. They say that everything came out of absolutely nothing, and by a random combination of subatomic particles, which went through so many gyrations, now we have this. But that's not scientific, because you can't get something out of nothing, as they propose. What they call science is actually dogma. It's fanaticism. It's not based on true science. Science means observation and experiment, even empirical science. Even empirically, modern day science is not science. Even from the standpoint of empirical science. It's not pure empirical science. It's based on mental speculation, not on actual observation and experiment. It's mental speculation. So instead of taking the version of these mental speculators who call themselves PhDs, Nobel laureates, etc., who are simply leading the entire human society into the deep, dark ages. The so-called dark ages of Europe were much more enlightened than we are now, actually. They were very God-conscious in those days. The so-called dark ages, now we're living in the dark ages. And they're getting darker and darker each year. Because we're moving further away from morality, we're moving further away from God, we're moving further and further away from human decency. And this age of Kali becomes more and more manifest. It's the age of quality consciousness. So it is a very urgent situation right now. A class of men and women now should come forward to become leaders, spiritual leaders on this planet. And there's an institution, there's an educational institution which was founded by the great spiritual master, the Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to train up a new class of men and women who can be the true leaders on this planet. Actual Brahmanas, those who know what is Brahman, and those who live what is Brahman, with every thought, every word, and every deed in all times, places, and circumstances. Actual Acharyas. Prabhupada's mission is to train many, many Acharyas. How many? He told us how many Acharyas he had. He wanted to create from Iskcon. He said, now we are 10,000, and then we will go to 100,000, then we'll go to 1 million, and we will go to 10 million. He said there will be no scarcity of Acharyas. So Prabhupada's vision is 10 million Acharyas. This is not just some religious, like a church or something. This is a training ground for Acharyas. Men and women, Vaishnavas of perfect ideal behavior in all thoughts, all words, and all deeds. You may say, well, I'm not ready to become a sannyasi. Don't let me, I don't want to hear this because I'm not going to become a sannyasi. No. You can do this as a grihastha, as a brahmachari, as a vanaprastha, sannyasi. It doesn't matter what is your ashram. You can apply a Krishna conscious householder is as good as any sannyasi. According to the version of the great acharyas. Kiva vipa kiva nashi shuddha kenenai jai Krishna tattva veta say guru boy. It doesn't matter if you're a learned Brahmin, you're a sannyasi, or even just a Shudra. It doesn't matter what is your position. If you know the science of Krishna, you can be a guru, you can be an acharya. So we want to train you in the science of Krishna. This is Prabhupada's program to train you in the science of Krishna, so that you can live as a householder, a sannyasi, a brahmachari, or a vanaprastha in a state of perfect Krishna consciousness, so that you and your family will not take birth again in this material world when you leave your body, and you and your family can act as missionaries for the deliverance of your neighborhood, of your town, of your state, of your country, of your planet. Lord Chaitanya gave an instruction that everybody should become guru. Who did he give it to? A grihastha. He said, Jani deka tarikaha Krishna upadarshamayo jai guru hoisa sarvede. This was given to a brahmana. His name was Kurma. He was a householder. During the rainy season, the sannyasis stay in one place. They don't travel during the rainy season. So he stayed in Kurma Chatra, in the home of this brahmana named Kurma. What a lucky man he was. Lord Chaitanya stayed with him for 4 months in his house. So as he was leaving, Brahman Kurma, he couldn't bear the separation from Lord Chaitanya. He said, my Lord, I would give up household life, I'm just coming to you. He said, no, you stay here. And whoever you meet, instruct him in the teachings of Krishna. In this way, on my order, you become guru and deliver the people of this country. He gave that to a householder. And Prabhupada said, actually that instruction is for all living entities. But it was given specifically to a householder to become a guru. Sometimes people say, well, householders can't become gurus. But that means they haven't studied the scriptures. They don't realize the scriptures. Anyone, it doesn't matter whether you're a householder or a sannyasi, anyone. They know the science of Krishna, they can become guru. I remember Prabhupada gave a very nice opening address in the Hyderabad temple. Have any of you seen the Hyderabad temple? Where is our, you see? Where is our Hare Bhakti Vriksaha, not here tonight. Yeah, Prabhupada gave a Hyderabad temple opening address. And he told all these Indian gentlemen, if you're living in a neighborhood, you become the guru of that neighborhood and deliver them. That was his instruction. So we have a very nice program, our Hare Krishna temple here, our Iskcon temple, and a nice program in the neighborhoods, you see. We want every neighborhood there should be programs like this. So in your neighborhood, you become the guru, you invite everyone. It's all, we have an organizational structure, so you work within that structure. The idea is that everybody should become empowered to be a preacher and make people Krishna conscious. This is our mission. Everyone. Whatever your occupation, doesn't matter. Everyone's real duty is to spread this Krishna consciousness. Because this is how you'll become delivered from all the anxieties of life, and this is how you can do the best service for your countrymen, how you can be the best ambassador of Mother India, you see, by spreading her culture to everyone. This is not just for Indians. Do I look like an Indian? I'm a Christian boy. But I knew that my Christian brothers were not following Christ properly. I lamented that I was born 2,000 years too late because I wasn't getting any good association. But then I found that there were people who were truly doing the path of bhakti on this planet right now. Prabhupada was doing it. And he had more than 12 disciples. He had thousands of disciples. And he was doing the same pure bhakti that Lord Jesus had done 2,000 years ago, preaching pure bhakti. So I went, wow, this is great. This is what I was looking for. Found it. Eject. So it doesn't matter whether you're a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew, whatever you, an atheist, whatever you may be, an agnostic, even if you're a criminal, doesn't matter. You can become Krishna conscious. There was one criminal who became a follower of Lord Chaitanya's movement, and he went on the pilgrimage with all the other devotees, and at night he just couldn't control himself. He had to steal, so he got up in the middle of the night, and he all the pilgrims were all staying in different rooms, so he went around and switched all the luggage around. That was his expertise. He could sneak in and you wouldn't know he was in the room. So all he did is he switched everybody's luggage around. So everybody woke up, my luggage is gone, my luggage is gone, yeah, mine's gone too. And they found it was all just to put in different rooms, you know. And he said, I have to admit, I was formerly a thief, and I just had this strong nature, so I did this just to fulfill my nature as a thief, but I didn't really steal it, I just switched it. You see. So even if you're a thief, you see. In fact, I know there's a story. One of my godbrothers, his name is Prabhupada. Formerly he was a thief. And one night he was robbing a house. And when he was in the house, the house owner was pulling the driveway in the car, so now he's got to get out really fast. And he's there, he said, well, I've gotten this far, I'm here in their living room, I got to at least steal something to make it worthwhile and having broken into the house and all that. It was dark, he just grabbed something. And he went through the window and got away. He was very expert at escaping. They didn't catch him, and he went home to see what he had stolen, and it was Bhagavad Gita as it is. And he read it, became a devotee. He's a very nice devotee. He's still following. I just saw him recently in Dallas. Many devotees didn't make it, but he's a strong, fixed-up devotee. All after many decades, he's still following Prabhupada. So it doesn't matter whether you're a thief, whatever you may be. If you just follow, read Bhagavad Gita as it is, follow it, and all these teachings, your life will be wonderful. Now listen, maybe some questions here I can try to answer. I see a whole stack of them. Question? Okay. Okay. How to understand where we stand in our Krishna consciousness in terms of bhakti? Well, that depends. You have to. It's not difficult. You understand the stages. First stage, you have faith in the process. That's called Shraddha. The second stage is that you associate with devotees. That's Sadhu Sangha. The third stage is called Bhajan and Kriya. That's when you get really serious to follow it and you take Diksha. And then, by following the rules and regulations under the order of your spiritual master, serving Guru, hearing instructions from Guru, and inquiring from Guru, then you go through the most important stage of all, that's called Anarthana Vritti. And that stage may take your whole life. That stage is the heavy, heavy stage. Getting rid of all the dirt in your heart, getting rid of the lust, getting rid of the anger, the greed, the madness, illusion, envy, the laziness. Working, diligently struggling to get free from all this dirt. And then when you finally get that dirt out of your heart, we don't have any more lust, we don't have any more greed, we don't have any more laziness, no more envy. Everything is completely cleaned out. Then you achieve the stage of Nishta. You're practically a pure devotee, almost a pure devotee. Maybe a little something there, not much. Then you achieve the Nishta stage. Now you're solidly fixed, you see. You have preliminary faith, now you have firm faith. Nothing, you have absolutely no doubts anymore now. You achieve the Nishta stage. And then, the next stage is Ruchi stage, where the holy name becomes unlimitedly sweet. So you could literally chant Hare Krishna if your body would allow it. You could literally chant Hare Krishna for millions of years and never get tired of it. If you only could chant for 10 million years, that'd be like 5 minutes. You'd be so deep in the ecstasy of the name. That's called the Ruchi stage, you see. And then you get to the Asakti stage, and that's when you're absolutely, totally addicted to Krishna. And that's the stage, the preliminary stage of pure love and God. Now you're a pure devotee. That's called the Asakti stage. And then, then there's higher stages too, Bhava and Prem. Bhava stage, you actually realize, in the Asakti stage, you realize who you are in Krishna's Leela. This Arupa has become revealed to you. In the Bhava stage, you actually begin to reciprocate with Krishna in that particular mood, of that identity. And then it becomes absolutely perfect. You're actually fully situated in the original identity as one of Krishna's associates. That's the famous one. So, where are we at? Well, if you're not initiated yet, and you're here tonight, you're in the Sadhu Sangha stage. And if you're initiated, you're most likely in the body, struggling, somewhere in the middle of Bhajana Kriya to get rid of all the dirt. After Bhajana Kriya, it's not even a struggle anymore, probably. It's just automatic. So if it's a struggle to get up and observe Mangalarti every morning, you haven't reached Anarthana Vritti yet. If it's a struggle to chant your round, if it's a struggle, if you have any struggle at all in your bhakti, it means you haven't reached Anarthana Vritti yet. How to intensify our Krishna consciousness and fix our mind on Krishna. Before the sunrise. It's very easy at this time. Rise by 4:30, by 4 a.m., take bath, have Mangalarti and chant Hare Krishna. At home or go to the temple. Many times due to anarthas within, we find difficult to respect devotees. How to develop this quality? Just understand, it's not, you see, we think, well, this devotee offended me, therefore I can't really respect him. No. You have to understand, your inability to respect someone is your own anartha. It's not that they mistreated you. The devotee respects everyone, whether they treat him or mistreat him, it doesn't matter. He respects everyone. If you can't respect the devotee, it's your own anartha. You have to respect everyone. And who made Krishna? That's described, the answer to this question is given by Lord Rama, as I quoted last night also. Ramadi. That's all. Ramadi Murti Sakalani Amena Tishtana Navadara Makarod Budaneshu Kintu Krishna Stayam Samavavat Paramatmamanyo Damadi Purushami Tamaham Bhajami. In this verse, Lord Rama tells who created Krishna. He says, I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna. So that's who made Krishna, Govinda did. So who's Govinda? He's Krishna. So Krishna made Krishna, that's who made Krishna. Krishna is self-manifested, that's the answer. How did he appear? It's not that he was never, it's not that he wasn't appearing, it's not that he was ever non-existent. Krishna is eternally appearing by his own sweet will to exist. Please describe some pastimes about Prabhupada. Wow. How much time do we have? Can we stay here all night? Is that all right? I'll give one pastime. I was with Prabhupada at this particular event. It was 1972. It was New Vrindavan. And we had fasted all day. And Westerners are not used to fasting at all, let me tell you right now. We don't even know what fasting means. So anyway, we fasted all day and it was getting pretty heavy. And, midnight came and now it's time for the feast, right? Oh, thank God, time for the feast, right? Some devotees even had their breakfast cup in the hand ready to down it. Holding it. Just waiting. But then at midnight, Prabhupada said, okay, now we read Krishna book. Instead of the feast, now we read Krishna book. So we all sat down in the temple room. There was so many we couldn't all fit, and some were outside the window, looking in the window, because there was too many devotees to fit in the temple there. And so Prabhupada had the sannyasi reading. Bhakti Narayana was believed the dandas were like going like this, because the devotees were going, the dandas were going like this. So the devotees were really struggling. Then, now we finished the chapter. And then Prabhupada said, okay, another chapter. And the devotees were like, very. And then Prabhupada was just sitting there in complete bliss, relishing the nectar, and we're just like fighting off sleep like anything, And then then he said, then a third, Prabhupada said another chapter, 3 chapters of Krishna book. And I don't know what time it was. Maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, but the time, I don't know what time we finished that reading. And then I actually noted it down in my notebook. Prabhupada said, I wrote down the exact word that he said. He said, Prabhupada said, I think you're getting impatient. I wrote that down. That's really a joke. I read it right now. So then Prabhupada let us honor the feast at 2 o'clock in the morning or something. And then we didn't have a shower in those days. There was a place where the cows would drink, and there was a water pond where the cows would drink. You go down and you go where the cows would drink the water, you go there and take your bath. So the time we took prasadam, and it was grain prasadam only. Sometimes you say you can't take grain, but we took grain prasadam. The problem was that we took grain in the feast also. And so anyway, the time we finished the feast, it's time to bathe for Mangalarti. It was completely dark. You had to I didn't even have a flashlight. You just had to feel your way in the jet black night, feel your way out in the woods, feel your way down to the cow pond, pour the water over your head from the pond, and then put on, dry off somehow or other. I don't know how we dried off, but maybe a gum shift or something. And put on your dirty Mangalarti. But that was I never forgot that, probably. I think you're getting impatient. The understatement of the millennium. So are we replacing Srila Prabhupada is the Founder-Acharya by creating so many of these acharyas. Now, wait a minute. There's acharya is one thing, it's Founder-Acharya is another thing. If someone says that, so-and-so is the Founder-Acharya, actually, one of our sannyasis, he advertised himself as the Founder-Acharya of New Vrindavan and Prabhupada. Put him different than immediately. No one is the founder except for Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the Founder-Acharya. Prabhupada said 10 million Acharya and one Founder-Acharya. There's a big difference. The Founder-Acharya is the head of the Sampradaya. We are the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Prabhupada Sampradaya. Prabhupada is our Acharya, our Founder-Acharya, and he will always be the Founder-Acharya of our movement. And all these other Acharyas are just the little Prabhus, and Prabhupada is the Prabhupada. You see? Prabhupada is the Acharya at whose feet, the grand Acharya at whose feet the little tiny Acharya sit. We're the little teeny weeny Acharyas, and Prabhupada the big Founder-Acharya. His books are the foundation of this movement. Nobody else's books are the foundation of this movement. Any other books that come out of Iskcon, if they're not in line with Prabhupada, throw them away, they're bogus. Just throw them in the garbage. They're using them to light the fire. Any book which is not in line with Prabhupada's teaching is rubbish. The only books that are bona fide are the books that perfectly represent the teachings of Prabhupada and encourage people and help them come to Prabhupada's teachings. What is the first step I should take to start my Krishna consciousness? Well, I'll quote from Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami says, Adao Gurashrayam. The first step is to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. That's his instruction that Prabhupada taught us. How can I remember Krishna at school without distractions? Chant very nice japa before you go to school. And then you'll be tuned in to Krishna the whole day. What is the meaning of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare? My dear energy of the Lord and my dear Lord, please engage me in your pure devotional service. Even when we know what is right and what is wrong, we always do wrong. Why does this happen? Because you're under the control of your senses. Your senses are not under your control, you are under the control of your senses. Your senses will always go the wrong way. That's the nature of the senses. They will pull you down into simple activities. As long as you serve your senses, you will be off the track. Guaranteed. But when you give up the servant of your senses, it is called Godas, and you become the master of your senses, that is called Swami, and that's the solution. You have to be a Swami and not a Godas. Any more questions? You have more?
Yes.
This is all?
Yeah.
Okay. How to control lust and anger. As long as you think that you're the center of the universe, you'll never be able to control lust and anger. Because anything that threatens your position as the center of the universe, which is a lusty desire, will make you angry. So you have to give up the idea that you're the center and understand that you're the eternal servant of Krishna. And if you will take up the basic items of bhakti given by Srila Rupa Goswami, and the nectar, Prabhupada gives them in the nectar devotion, if you will follow these 10 items, you'll be in a very good position to bring your lust and anger under control. So please note these 10 items now. The first one is this. You take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. That's the first thing you have to do. Take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. The second, if you want to look it up, it's chapter 6 of the Nectar Devotion, Discharging Devotional Service. The second item is you have to get initiated by the spiritual master. Take diksha. That's the second item. The third item is you have to then This is common sense. When you take Diksha, now you can follow your Guru's order or you can neglect it. Is it optional? Can you just do what you want? No, you have to obey your Guru. So the third step is now you must obey the orders of your spiritual master. You're taking shelter, you got initiated, now you have to obey. That's the third item. The fourth item then is you follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas under the guidance of your spiritual master. So what does he do? He says you have to follow Prabhupada's instructions. You see? And by following Prabhupada, who are you following? Bhaktivedanta Saraswati. And by following Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, who are you following? Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And by following Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj, who are you following? Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And this way, you see, your spiritual master doesn't say, follow me only. No. He's just a servant of the previous acharyas. He engages you in following his spiritual master. You understand? Your spiritual master will engage you in following Prabhupada's instructions. That's his duty. The bona fide guru teach you how to become a perfect follower of Srila Prabhupada. That's the fourth item. The fifth item is then how do you advance? You have to inquire. Guru Maharaj, what about this? What about that? Just like now you're asking questions also. You see, you inquire. That's the fifth item. The sixth item is you have to be prepared to give up anything material that you would not want to give up or accept anything else. Just like when I was a young singer-songwriter, and when I first came to the temple, I had an earring, you see. And the devotees told me, they said, you have to give up that earring. That's not, Brahmacharis don't wear earrings, But I was stubborn, because I was attached to my earring. So I put a picture of Lord Chaitanya in my earrings. And they didn't bother me about it. But then they didn't say a word after that. But then I was just on my own. After a while I said, well, I don't need this. What's the point of an earring? It's just to attract girls anyway. That's the point of an earring. I'm not into attracting girls. I want to attract Krishna. So I give up that earring. Not a lot of work from anyone. So you have to be prepared to give up something. I became prepared to give up my earring, you see. Because it wasn't necessary in my Krishna consciousness. Just some lusty sex thing. For women it's okay. A woman's supposed to be beautiful. A man doesn't have to make himself beautiful by wearing earrings, you see. It's not for a transcendental, a Brahmana. It's not necessary. So, I gave up my earring. And accept something? Well, rising early in the morning. Who wants to get up at 4 in the morning? But you accept it, you see. So that's the sixth item. Be prepared to accept something or reject something for the service of Krishna. And the seventh item? Reside in a holy place like Vrindavan or Mayapur or wherever. Now what if you can't live there, you need to be here in Melbourne, earn your living, then you have to go to the temple as much as you possibly can and make your home into an ashram, a spiritual atmosphere. You see nice pictures of Krishna, nice altar, offering all your food before you eat. Make your home into a holy place, you see. That's the seventh item. And then the eighth item is to associate with the material world only insofar as is necessary and not more than that. I mean, you need to go out there and living, so that's okay, but if I need to go to watch the latest Hollywood film or catch the latest soccer game, is that necessary? You're like, no. Only deal with the material world insofar as is necessary, and the rest of your energy you put into the Vaishnava society, associating with the Vaishnava society. Only associate with the material society as much as is necessary and not beyond that. See, that's the eighth item. And then the ninth item, observe Ekadashi. Now what does that mean? No grains and no beans on Ekadashi. If you want to do more than that, great. The full Ekadashi, which is an option, which Prabhupada never said we had to do, is no water, no food, no sleep. Every Ekadashi in Nirjala. That's the actual standard for Ekadashi. Prabhupada never said we had to do that. In fact, Prabhupada's program that he engaged us in Ekadashi, we had to feast on Ekadashi. Every Ekadashi we had a feast. We had like fried peanuts, I remember fried peanuts, and some kind of potato chip and carrot halwa. That was in a feast every Ekadasi. That was Prabhupada's program. So you don't have to fast. If you want to do Nirjal, like a Nirjal Ekadasi, I personally do it now. I find it very enlightening actually to do that, but it's optional. You don't have to fast on Ekadasi, but you have to, you absolutely cannot take any grains or beans, because sin personified takes up residence in grains and beans on Ekadasi. Even if it's Prashadam, you can't take it, because sin personified sits in it on Ekadasi. But after Ekadasi, he leaves it, you can take the Prashadam next day on Ekadasi. And then the 10th item is to worship the Tulsi or the banyan tree. Do you have any banyan trees here in Melbourne? In botanical gardens? Yeah. So, if you have, anyone have a banyan tree in their backyard? Actually, in our Miami temple we had banyan trees. So I asked Prabhupada, how do we worship the banyan tree? And he said, by an incense, flower, and water. But he never really said we should, they had to do that. So Prabhupada engaged us in worshiping Tulsi. So the banyan tree you don't have to worship, although if you see a banyan tree you can offer your respect. But the main thing is the Tulsi tree, the Werribee Vaishnava. Worship the Tulsi. You can keep a Tulsi at home, it's very good. Water every day, do a little arti, certainly if you have time. Cultivate the Tulsi tree in your home. And when you come to the temple, come to the Tulsi worship at 5 o'clock in the morning. Come to Tulsi worship. It's very nice. Very nice. The arati and the kirtan is very nice. So worship the Tulsi tree. These are the first 10 items. If you can do these 10 items very devotedly, I guarantee you your lust and anger will go down to a very, very insignificant level. Okay, what is the difference between devotional service and pure devotional service? It depends on what level you're at. If you're the level of 1% devotional service, then the difference is 99%. If you're the level of 2% devotional service, the difference is 98%. If you're the level of 99% devotional service, the difference is 1%. So you have to go for pure devotional service. You see, that's the goal. We all start off contaminated. Let's face the reality. We're contaminated by lust, anger, greed, madness, religion, envy. But as you take up this process, gradually, you have faith, you get self-sacred devotees, you get initiated, you obey your spiritual master, and gradually these things go away, you see. And you move from mixed devotional service to pure devotional service gradually. And the purer it gets, the more blissful you get. Okay. And it advances geometrically. Once you get the ball rolling, it has a snowball effect. So the most important thing is somehow to start the process. Even if it seems impossible, start the process. Just get the thing in motion, and once you get in motion, it'll just it'll start going on its own momentum, and you'll be carried back to Godhead. You said nice devotees. What is the difference between being a devotee and being a nice devotee? Actually, if you're a devotee, you must be nice. If you're not nice, you certainly can't be a devotee. Devotee means nice. You said we should aim for the highest perfection. What is that? Pure devotional service. At what level of perfection are we at present? That depends on you. Everybody in this room is at different level. Somebody's at 1%, somebody's at 2%, somebody's at 10%. Everybody's at a different level. Except for the pure devotees, and they're all 100%. Why is Srila Rupa Goswami and Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami remembered more prominently amongst the Six Goswami? Who remembers them more prominently? Krishna Das Kaviraj, isn't it? This book? Where is this coming from? Who can say, and where are they really more prominent? Where is that? Is this from the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Who has asked the question? Is the question asked here? Huh?
Iskcon being the Rupa Nugas.
Rupa Goswami, yes. I'd have to see where it's given. It might be in the, if the question asker were here, you could tell us where are they remembered more prominently. Is it by Krishna Das Adhikari and the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Where is this more prominent remembrance given? Because I know when the president says Goswamis, all 6 of the Goswamis are given statement. Yes?
I've read it in one of the speeches by in the Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj, and also in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So they refer to Rupa Raghunath like that. So when they pray to...
See, Raghunath there's two Raghunaths. Raghunath.
Maybe I'm
yeah, no, there's 2 Gopal. There's 2 Bhattas here, Gopal and Raghunath Goswami, all the 6, in the prayers of the 6 Goswamis, the Shat Goswami, Astakam, all 6 Goswamis are given prominence. Now, I know that it's a fact that Raghunath Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, they're all very exalted. I don't know, I can't say because Prabhupada gave prominence to all of them. But of all of them, Rupa Goswami is especially prominent. He is we are called Rupa Nugas. That I know. Prabhupada gave emphasis to Rupa Goswami. Yeah.
Maharaj, there is a sloka, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti, Kabhi Hama Bhujavase Yugala Priti.
What is that sloka?
There's a sloka appearing in
the song.
Yeah, in the song.
But that song is sung by the followers, so they will always
How does that song go? Which song is that?
Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti.
No, that's the end verses. But
What is the entire song?
Hari, what is it? Vrindavan. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti. That's sung by Narottam Das Thakur.
Yeah.
I can't remember in the beginning lines.
How does the song begin? What song is it? Hare Hare Bhakti? Is it Sri Krishna Chaitanya? Which one is it?
Let me think.
Is that one Sri Krishna Chaitanya?
Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira.
Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira. Hari Hari bolite nayani mare. Arkabe nitai chan karuna hoibe. Kabe hama bhuja
Samsara vasana mura kabe kucha habe.
Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti Kabe hama bhuja.
Shri Yugala Priti.
Well, that's a song by Narottam Das Adhikari. That's a certain mood that he has. So you have to ask Narottam Das Adhikari why he wrote the song. You have to become a peer devotee so you can meet Narottam Das Adhikari. Sri Krishna is the Paramatma. And if all the Atmas, including the Jiva Atmas, are only the satellite Atmas of the Paramatma, then how come all the satellite Atmas are not connected to the Paramatma? But they are connected. You can't say they're not, they are all connected. But they're unconscious of their connection due to their envy. Why does it take so much to go back to God? It doesn't take so much, really. We think it takes so much. But our minds are making this obstacle, but actually it's a very simple thing. You simply have to fully accept it. I am the eternal servant of Krishna. That's all you have to do. It's not a big thing. We make it a big thing. We make it difficult by our own mental concoction. It's actually it's the easiest thing in the world to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Much easier than getting a job or getting a college degree or reporting to work on Monday morning. It's much easier. But we make it difficult. Our minds twist the whole thing and make me think it's a very difficult thing. Okay, our questions have run out.
Why we make it difficulty? Because we are so attached to sense gratification.
He was so attached to gratifying our senses. Right? My dear senses, I have to serve them. My tongue, my belly, my genitals, I just have to serve them because they want me to serve them. If I don't serve them, they get really disappointed. And so I have to serve them. But what good is this sense gratification? Of course, for good health, that is all right. But beyond that, what's the point of your sense gratification? You're simply reinforcing your own false sense of identity in the material body, which is going to leave you in a complete state of horror and devastation at the time of death. Why are you putting all this energy into serving your senses? It's a foolish thing to do. Give your senses only what is needed to be healthy and put the best of your energy into bhakti. That is intelligent.
Prabhupada said that when somebody asked why Maya is so strong, why devotional service is difficult, Prabhupada said that because your purpose is not.
That's right. If you are strong in your determination, Maya will back off. She'll just back off and say, all blessings to you on your path of pure devotion service. Maya Devi will give you all blessings. Durga Devi, Maya Devi, she's actually a pure devotee of Krishna. Stita Dipalaya Sabdana Shaktareka, Shayeva Yashubavanandini Bhakti Yoga, Iskcon Rupamapiyash Tatesa, Govindam, Hare Krishna. The external potency Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Shiv potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the preserving, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primary Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. Durga is simply a servant of Krishna. Maya, or Durga, is simply a servant of Krishna. She's the warden of the prison, that's all. If you're a prisoner, she's going to lock you in the cell. If you're a criminal, she will lock you in the cell of sense gratification. If you become a devotee, she will open the door and say, all blessings to you on your path of bhakti. Durga Devi or Maya Devi will open the door and say, all blessings to you on your pathway of Krishna bhakti. I now release you from your prison.
Also Krishna says, you can have your sense gratification, but do what I am saying, then you will be all right. Yes, he says that yat karosi yad yagdasi yad juhosi yad dadasi yad tapos pasyasi just for mother.
Whatever you're doing, do it for me.
Yes. Just follow my instructions and you will be able to get over it. It's so difficult. We want to do it
All we
our
have to do
way.
is take Krishna as our authority and follow his instructions. That's all you have to do. It's a simple thing. We make it difficult. We cause all these obstacles in the brain. It's the simplest thing in the world to simply take Krishna's instructions. Okay, I'll do it. I'll follow the manual. It's like somebody gives you a recipe for banana bread. Instead of just following the recipe, you try to concoct your own new variation. What do you get? A bunch of goo in the bottom of the pan. You see? If you just follow the recipe, you'll get first-class banana bread. So just follow the perfect recipe is given, how you can become a liberated soul, even in this material body, how you can experience Krishna with face-to-face, eye-to-eye, even in your present body. All you have to do is follow the instructions. And you'll be with Krishna. You won't even need to go back to Godhead. You'll be with him already. Back to Godhead, that's just a detail. Detail. You'll already be with Krishna, even in your present body. simply strictly follow what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. That's all you have to do. Don't try to concoct, try to change the formula. If it says no illicit sex, it means no illicit sex. Don't try to invent some new thing. You see, it says no meat, it means no meat. Oh, I didn't have a hamburger, it's only a little nibble. I just took a little nibble of meat. I didn't have all my anger. What's the big deal? It's only a little nibble. No, don't concoct. Whatever is given, you follow it strictly. And then you become Paramahamsa. You see, liberated soul. So I guess we'll stop here. And we thank you all very, very much. I'm just delighted so many of you come. I hope that you will all take this very seriously now and take up this process. And as Rupa Goswami said, take shelter of Prabhupada Guru, get initiated, follow the instructions. I hope you all take this up so you can become liberated souls even right here in the Melbourne area. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.